What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to the 2023 Sony Open betting preview. DB here. I got Pat Perry with me, ready to rock and roll. We took the night off last night to watch our Bulldogs absolutely
Woo.
hammer
Hmm.
CU Horned Frogs 65-7. It's a good day to be a dog. But, we're here to talk golf. We're here to talk Hawaii, here to talk Wailea Country Club. We did the DraftKings preview. You can check that out on the YouTube channel or the podcast feed. I did drop a sleepers video, a couple of sleepers, I think, in DFS. Might get to a couple of those today here in the betting show. But we're going to talk about our favorite bets on the board, talk about some guys we want to avoid. I'm going to do something I rarely do at the top, Pat. We'll get to that. And then at the end, we're going to take a voicemail or two and talk a little bit about some major predictions, maybe even some outright bombs that we like early on some of these majors. So before we get into it, do need to remind everybody to hop on in the Nut Hut where winning has already started. The Century got us off to a hot start, especially on Prize Picks. Promo code TJ gets you a deposit bonus there if you've not done that before. But Pat gave us a 15x return on round one in the Prize Picks for Prize Picks for the Century. It was fantastic. Our boy Joe Idoni gave us 4 head-to-head matchups, all 4 hit. That was awesome. Or 3. I think it was 3-0 or something. He was up 4.5 units. I don't know. We nearly had the outright with Colin Morikawa. You did it, Pat. We did that rant last night, so we won't do that. But a ton of exclusive new content has been added to the Nut Hut. A lot of things have changed in the Nut Hut in just the last 60 days. So if you were a member and you got out because you didn't like something, well, we surveyed a bunch of you, over 1,000 of you, and read a bunch of responses over the break in November and December and made a ton of sweeping changes quickly. And so the Nut Hut has a new look, a new feel, a new purpose, renewed vision. Pat, we've built back better. The Nut Hut.
We have built back better, and it's fantastic. It's you got to get in there. I don't know why you're not in the Nut Hut if you're not.
Got to get in there, make it happen. Join us now for the Sony Open. Let's get into it, Pat. We don't need to talk about the golf course. We've done that. Top of the betting board. Let's get to it. I'm going to make this pretty simple. There's 2 names I'm going to talk about. The first one is I'm a little tempted by Hideki. I'm just a little tempted. We didn't talk about him a lot on the DraftKings show last night, but just looking at how the odds have started to play out, how things have started to look here early. So we're recording this on Tuesday around 2 p.m., an unusual time for us. But finding Hideki around 20-1 on BetMGM, Circa, if you have access to that, those are kind of your best, the best numbers for Hideki. Defending champ,
Yeah.
Played decent at Kapalua, seemingly healthy. That's always the question mark, right? That's really what was scary about Hideki last week is we just haven't seen him in a while. How's his neck? How's his back? How's his and his crack? I don't know. But apparently it's pretty good. And 20-1 is tempting me. But I'm probably not going to bet it because if I'm doing anything up here, and I really want to do this, I want to bet Tom Kim, and I want to parlay him with NFL bets so that I can jack the number up. Because why? Because I'm a degenerate. I'm sure something like Tom Kim winning and then the Bills losing or something would probably derail my whole plan. But I mean, doesn't it just seem like Tom Kim is just like it almost feels like it's Rory levels of running away with it. If there was like a Rory tournament where we all felt like Rory was just going to run away with it, this feels equivalent. I just feel like as good as Tom Kim has been playing, he's already a multiple winner. He's, played great at Kapalua last week, despite first time out. This course is built for the kid. Doesn't it just feel like this is a runaway for him?
I think it does look like that. I mean, he could run rough shed on this whole
Is it
field.
rough shed or rough shod?
I don't know. I've always said rough shed. Is it rough shod? Really?
I don't know.
Somebody in the chat tell us.
I thought it was rough shod. Run. Let's see. Run rough. Yeah, it's run rough shod.
Okay, run. Really?
Which means to completely ignore the opinions, rights, or feelings of others. He achieved success by ruthlessly running roughshod over anyone who got in his way.
Well, we've known throughout the 8 years that we've done this that I tend to not get words correct.
Yes.
So anyway, he could do that. I do like Tom Kim a lot this week. And And you're right, he's just playing fantastic. And it's nice to see that he has, has a couple wins under his belt already. If he were kind of a new guy on tour that still hadn't won, maybe you just wait for that, especially at 11-1. But he's won, so it doesn't matter. And I do think now I'm fine with just betting Tom Kim. I
Yeah.
don't need to put all the NFL plays
Oh,
in
come
there.
on.
I'm
Come
okay
on.
with just 11-1 Tom Kim.
Okay, well, all right. Well, so here's a comment for the YouTubers. Give me here's what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to put him together with the Buffalo Bills and the Bengals money line. Both of those teams money line gets me up to plus 1793 on DraftKings. Great year, by the way. 1793. I don't know what happened in 1793. So I think if Bills win, Bengals take care of business, Tom Kim takes care of business, I'm basically 18-1. I feel a little better about it. It helps me out. So I think I'm going to do that. But related to football, since we got the NFL playoffs starting and everybody loves to bet the NFL, I would love for you guys to put in the comments, who is your Super Bowl pick that's kind of a dark horse in the playoffs? Like not the Chiefs, probably not the Bills. Give me a dark horse Super Bowl call if you had one. Drop that in the comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All right, Pat. I mean, that pretty much takes care of the top of the board, huh? I mean, it's like Tom Kim, maybe
Well, I
Hideki.
mean, I like Connors and Henley up here at 22-1. Both are
Oh, I
sitting
thought.
right there.
Okay, I thought you were just saying. Okay, you were saying you're not going to parlay Tom Kim. You're just going to bet Tom Kim, but
Yeah, but
he's not certainly bet up here.
yeah, but I also do like Connors at 22-1, and I like Henley at 22-1. Henley has shown he's won here before. He has a great history here. He finished second here last year. I think if you're doing a one and done, Henley feels like a pretty solid one and done choice. If you don't want to go ahead and take like a Tom Kim or something like that. So those are probably my two favorite bets, less than 25-1.
Okay. I mean, I think I like the Henley play a little better than the Connors play outright. I mean, I don't know that I trust Connors to close the door on his second PGA Tour win that has felt like we've all been willing it to come for so long, and it just hasn't
Yeah,
happened.
especially if he doesn't get his putting
Yeah,
together, which is never together.
yeah,
Hey, but Morikawa almost did it last week.
yeah. And I mean, we have seen bad putters play well here. I mean, even though you do have to obviously have a good week, but in general, we've seen bad putters play well here. I mean, hell, you just said Russell Henley won, and bad putter.
He used to be considered a good putter.
Maybe that's when he was a good putter. That was back in like 2013. I guess when you're looking at it recently, though, like, I mean, Hideki, not a terrible putter at all. Kevin Na, good putter. Cam Smith, great putter. Matt Kuchar, great putter. So actually, I mean, it kind of does tend to. I guess when you just look at guys who've done well, maybe they haven't won. There's some names up there that you look at and go, "Oh, those guys don't putt very well," but they also can't close the door. So I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
probably out on Connors. After the TCU ass whooping, do we think Tom Hoagie's in play at all?
I do think he's in play.
Because
I mean,
I said I think it would be worse if they won. Then Hoagie's going to get trashed, but
yeah,
he's already back in, or he's probably close to back to Hawaii now. He's obviously got plenty of laps around Wailea. He knows
yeah.
of course, but
I think Hoagie's definitely in play. This is a course that should fit his game well. He's got mixed results here. If you look at his history, it hasn't been fantastic the last couple of years, but he does have a T12 back in 2020, and then in 2018 he was third. So he's shown he can play here at Wailea. So I do like Hoagie this week. So anyway,
okay. Before we leave the top of the board, Josh Kistler in the chat. Can we come up with a name for Tom Kim? It's just too bland of a name for such a rising star. How about Sex Panther, staying in the cat family, a la Tiger? Should we call Tom Kim Sex Panther? I mean, I don't know that that's what I would call Tom. I think you put that on a guy who's kind of more of a sex symbol. I mean, Tom's not really there yet. So I just, I don't know. We should think of a good name for him. I mean,
I like that, but I'm not in on Sex Panther yet. I need to be sold on that, and I don't think I can be sold, Kistler.
You had Thomas the Train because that he talked about how he went by Tom because he loved Thomas the Train, but even that doesn't seem like it really does the kid justice. So we got to think about that.
That sounds too nursery rhymish also. You
Yeah.
remember talking about lemurs? Nursery rhyme.
Yes. Something about going to get popsicles or something.
Yeah, but I mean, why are we getting anyway? I'm not ready to go with Sex Panther or Thomas the Train.
Yeah, I'm not either. All right, I am ready to go to the middle of the board because this is really where I think there's the sweet spot. I'm trying to get there on. I'm trying to narrow it down on a lot of names in here. Before we get to it, I want to remind everybody to check out front9coffee.com. Tremendous partner of the Tour Junkies. And if you like the Tour Junkies show, if you support us, it'd be great if you'd also support Front Nine Coffee. If you're a coffee fan, or maybe you're not, but you know somebody, get them a gift, send them a something. You got a Valentine, send them a Valentine of some coffee bean. And don't send it, and in the card, you can write, hey, this is nice artisan small batch coffee bean. It ain't gassed up like me and the sheets or the coffee on your grocery store shelves. You could try that. Try putting that in the cart, see what happens. Front9coffee.com, promo code TJ10 gets you 10% off your entire order. Support a small business right here in Augusta, Georgia that love golfers, love coffee, love the Tour Junkies, and get you some coffee from Front9. They'll deliver it to your door, and it's fresh. So check them out, front9coffee.com, promo code TJ10. All right, Pat, getting to the middle of the board. Love this spot. I guess I'll let you start here, and then I'll fill in some gaps because I got so many names in here. I got to narrow it down.
Yeah, I've got a few that I really like here. I'll start with Taylor Montgomery, who's at 40-1, I believe, on DK, but he's 31-1 on FanDuel. So I think you can get a little bit of a better, get better odds on him. And sorry, that's PointsBet where he's 40-1. But I do like Taylor Montgomery a lot this week at that number. I like Cam Davis. I mentioned him on the DK show. He is at 35-1. That's the best number I see for him. And then if I'm going a little bit longer, this was my sneaky play on the DFS show, but I'm still liking Seabez this week at 50-1. He's another guy, great putter. He's not going to jump out at the screen when you look at his stats, but I still think Seabez can contend. I think he can also win. I like him at 50-1. So I'll start with those three. I don't know if I got anybody much longer than that in this mid-range.
Not too many. I'm just looking at recent winners. Not too many first-time winners here at the Sony. I'm not sure. I know we haven't had one since at least 2016. That was Fabian Gomez. Was that his first PGA Tour victory? It probably was. It's the only one I can remember because I bet it.
Yeah.
I don't think it was. I mean, it may have been Jimmy Walker's first victory in 2014. I do think it was Russell Henley's first one in 2013. But the last 6 years, it not any first time winners. So, could that change? Could that change this year? Potentially, it would have to if a guy like Taylor Montgomery is going to get it done. I do like your Cam Davis call. I wish I do know he played in Australia. I think in like November or December, played pretty well. So I like the Cam Davis call. I like JT Poston here at 55-1 on BetMGM. We talked about on the DFS show how much better guys tend to do coming from Kapalua, being able to get the vacation, get the family stuff, knock the rust off, tournament rust off the game there the week before. And there's a bunch of guys here from Kapalua, JT being one of them at 55-1, multiple time PGA Tour winner, can really roll the rock when he gets it going. I like that. And I think I'm going to have Davis. I think I'm going to have Poston. And then I got to narrow it down. I got to land on one guy. Maybe you can help me, actually, Pat. Why don't you help me?
Okay. All right. I'll help.
I'm going to have you pay attention now because you check out every time I start doing effing picks. So I'm going to have to involve you now so you pay attention.
I am paying attention. Why do you think I'm not paying attention?
What are you doing?
You can listen with your ears and which is paying attention.
Cannot. No. You cannot. You're over here.
No, I'm looking at my screen at stuff.
I caught you in this just a couple of shows ago, so don't act like this is crazy. So now I got to involve you.
No, you're just involving me because you don't even know what you want to do. So you just want my opinion.
Well, it's a little bit of both. If you had to pick one to win out of Emiliano Grillo at 60-1 on PointsBet, that's the longer number. Andrew Putnam at 55-1 on FanDuel, or Harris English at 50-1 on MGM.
I'd probably go to the 60-1 Grillo.
The more that's
what I would do.
God,
Do you really think Putnam's going to win?
Putnam almost won here a couple years ago, like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, but
Didn't
he
he finish
didn't.
runner up? What year did he finish runner up? 29. So wait a minute, that was 4. Was that 4 years ago? So the year Kuchar won. Let's look at that. Yeah. Oh, he lost by 4 shots. Kuchar boat raced him. He lost by 4. He was solo second that year. I don't know. Why do you take Grillo?
I mean, I just feel like, let me look at something real quick. I thought he played better than that in the fall. I think in the last fall when he won back in
Who?
20, Grillo.
Dude, Grillo hasn't won in like 5 years.
I thought he won like 2 years ago.
What are you talking about? Did you hit your head? Grillo has not won since a long time ago. He won in 2015, dude.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He won 3 weeks after we started doing this podcast.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a tough decision because you're talking about guys like Andrew Putnam.
He had 2 runner-ups last July. That's maybe.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking about. And then you got Harris English, who's been hurt most of last year, but has played fairly well in the fall.
Yeah. And I mean, out of all of them, if they're in contention, you trust English more, right? Like you trust him to close the door.
Yeah, well, I guess I would say that for sure because Grillo, if he's going to need like a 5 or 6 shot lead, and even then, it might be a struggle.
Yeah, like can you imagine? I mean, I don't know. I am excited about the potential that Grillo has improved that putter somehow. Has found something with the putter that is enticing to me. But it's like
we always know his stats are going to jump off the page at you.
Yeah,
ball striking.
I don't know. We to be determined. We'll see what happens on the DB's Big Balls betting card. I'll drop that tomorrow on Wednesday. Now up 20 and a half units on the 2022-2023 season with 2 winners already, Victor Hovland and Keegan Bradley. I'll drop that on tourjunkies.com on Wednesday, so check that out. Okay, let's move on. Is that all you have in that range?
That's all I have.
All right, above that 75 to 1, kind of into that 130 to 1 range on DraftKings. There's a few names here for me. I mean, the first one, I guess, and I didn't love how badly. I'm pretty sure he hit it. Was it? No, actually, maybe it was more his putting. Last week at the Century Tournament of Champions, Adam Svensson turned in a T37. Yeah, it was the putter. My God, he lost 8.5 strokes putting last week. That is, whoa. That's very. Like, what was he doing? When he won the RSM, he gained 9.2. What the shit did he do in 2 months? Not even 2 months, a month and a half between winning the RSM and the Century. What did he do?
You know, I had him also written down because I do like him this week at 80 to 1. I don't, maybe it was Hawaii and he just he had a little too many of the Mai Tais.
Hawaii got him?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a huge gap in the putt. I mean, I get you're coming back from a break. Maybe it's a little rusty. 8.6 is unnerving. But I mean,
maybe the Pacific Ocean made him dizzy.
What?
Yeah, like it could. He just got dizzy out there. The flight's a long flight over water. He just never could get his head right.
No, I don't understand.
I mean, I'm just trying to explain.
Why water makes you dizzy all of a sudden.
I don't know. I'm trying to talk about. I mean, how do you go from RSM putting to Century putting? Or he could have just been rusty.
He's played here twice, 43rd his first time out, and finished 7th here last year, and gained strokes on the putting greens both years. Let's see what he did. That is just a crazy. That's probably his worst putting. Yeah, that's his. Last week was his worst putting performance out of 106 registered events.
Yeah.
And it was bad. It was his worst by 3 strokes.
Dizziness.
That is awful.
It's dizziness.
Vertigo. Pacific Vertigo.
Pacific Vertigo.
He's 80 to 1 on points bet. I don't know. It just feels like kind of one of those names in that range that looks like a decent enough value that I don't know, you click on. I mean, reality is though we've had. I mean, if you look at past champs here, um, Hideki won at 18 to 1. I don't know what Henley was going into that play. I don't know what he was pre-tournament last year, but Henley probably would have been in that mid-range. We've seen a lot of mid-range winners in recent years. Kevin Knott, 66, Cam Smith at 55, Matt Kuchar at 40, Patton Kizzire at 80. Justin Thomas was kind of your next short one there with Hideki at 14 to 1, and Fabian was the last triple digit winner we've seen at this event at 100 to 150 to 1. I think I had him at 150 to 1. So, we don't have the tendency to see the triple digit super bombs. We'll throw a few of them out there, but so I don't know. I mean, I think Will Gordon at 100 to 1 on DraftKings is one I'm somewhat tempted to click because he obviously had a really good fall, making his second tour of duty back on the PGA Tour after losing his card. Definitely hits it a long way. He's going to be clubbing down, I would suspect, on a lot of holes. But we've seen bombers like JT do just fine here before. So I'm kind of interested in Will Gordon. Anybody else in that range you like?
Well, you took two of mine, and Svensson and Gordon.
Okay.
So I only have
Little
one
agreement
more.
there.
I got
All
one
right.
more name I'll mention, and that's Hayden Buckley at 80 to 1. A guy who is also a great ball striker. He's fifth in the field there. He's top 25 in approach. Drives the ball very accurate off the tee. So I think Hayden Buckley could make a little sense here at that 80 to 1 number. He's another one that has not won yet, but he has certainly came close last fall. I mean, sorry, last winter, the winter season, the West Coast season is what I'm trying to talk about.
Oh, okay. So
didn't he almost win the American Express or
no?
It's my brain. It's all.
I don't know. I mean, his best finishes on the PGA Tour would be a fourth at the Sanderson in October of 2021 and a fifth at the Zozo this past October. I don't really understand the Hayden Buckley affection so far, like right now. And not just from you. I'm talking about, I'm seeing his name a lot being
Well,
thrown.
maybe it was here where I was thinking. Was there a point where he was close to because he finished 12th here last year?
I mean, maybe, but this is similar to like a Denny McCarthy rant that I had last week, or yesterday. I just don't like. We've not seen the guy in contention yet. We've not seen him. We've not seen what he does. How he
it's the same with Will Gordon.
Yeah, it is. I'm just saying I've seen a lot of. I don't know. I've seen a lot of Hayden Buckley talk. I'm in this. I'm doing the Nut Hut season-long draft right now as we speak. And Buckley went to me way earlier than I had him. I think he went. I don't remember who took him in the Pat Mayo draft, but he went pretty early in the Pat Mayo draft too. I don't. Yeah, I think he's a talented player. I just don't know that we've seen enough out of him to bet him outright.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're in a large field. We're in the close to the triple-digit range almost. There's a lot of guys in here that aren't going to have the win equity, but I think have a chance. I mean, again, last year he was up there. So,
okay. What about let's go to super bombs. Super bombs. I got two names that would just be. I mean, I'm telling you, you just throw some loose change at these two and see what's up. I think actually, Pat, because I think we were talking about this guy. Russell Knox is 200 to 1 on PointsBet.
What?
That's what I'm seeing right now on Data Golf.
No way.
Let's see.
You might need to update that.
I just did. Hold on.
I'm seeing 100 to 1.
No way. Maybe I didn't.
Now I am seeing 180 to 1 on
100 to 1. Man, that
they're catching up. They're
catching
up to you. They're listening to you.
Dang it, dude. I mean, he was 200 to 1 just a short time ago. So is he still 180 to 1 on DraftKings?
Well, I mean, that's what it says. I don't think it's. I bet you that one's gone down too.
Let's look. I'm looking right now. I'm pulling it up. Nope, 150 to 1 on DraftKings. So Data Golf needs an update. Well, I mean, it's not as super bomb as I wanted it to be, but I mean, Russell Knox, we talked about him on the DraftKings show last night too. I mean, I think there's a potential that he's also found a little something with the putter, which has always been his problem. He's had some really strong, consistent iron performances in the last 12 months. Had some big peak numbers in the fall. Um, so if the putter can turn around, and he's quite familiar with Wiley, so and we know he's a PGA Tour winner. In fact, I think he's a multiple time PGA Tour winner, maybe twice. So anyway, 150 to 1 DK for Russell Knox is interesting. And then let's see what this guy is. Let me double check this because I don't want to misspeak. But I mean, this is ridiculous, and I don't know if I said this on the DraftKings show or not, Pat. But you know, I said loose change, 350 to 1,
Ooh.
350 to 1 on PointsBet and DraftKings, according to Data Golf. It's Harry Higgs. I just, you know what's gotten me on Harry Higgs, other than just being a Harry Higgs fan in general, and knowing that the guy kind of had it, for a little run there on the tour, and then all of a sudden seemingly just lost it. And it was terrible last year, right? Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard an interview he did on No Laying Up's podcast. I think it was over the Christmas break or Thanksgiving or something. And he basically just he came all out and talked about kind of what was going on, and it sounded like just a lot of negativity and kind of down about his game and his attitude, and he was moody and he was pissy. He sounded a lot like you at times, especially on
Wow.
the golf course, like our friend Ben mentioned in our New Year's resolution thing.
Why are you so negative? I mean,
Kind of a
we're having a good
bottom.
day. Georgia just won the national title, and you're the one being all negative.
I'm just saying the truth. Ben brought it up. That's all I'm saying. Ben brought it up. I'm just saying which is what Ben called you last night on the voicemail.
Okay.
So, but he kind of has worked through it. I think his brother, who's his caddy, kind of shook him up a bit. He's been working through it, and he sounded so good. It sounded like he was in such a better headspace going into the fall. And then to kind of see him in the fall have a couple of just decent, like starting to look like he knew how to play golf again, with a 32nd finish in Mexico at Mayakoba and a 21st at the RSM. Like just nothing crazy, but just started to look like he may have finally, gotten there. The guy's got 2 runner-up finishes, 2 close calls. Could have won the Bermuda back in 2019. Could have won the Fortinet in 2020. Finished runner-up on both of those. The guy knows how to play. But 350 to 1, I just saw the number and I was like, what if Harry's in an incredible, good mental place and he's in Hawaii and he doesn't get dizzy from the Pacific Ocean or whatever the F that was you were talking about, and he gets it done. So that's
Yeah.
it for me.
Okay. I don't mind the Higgs play. I got a few in here. Ben Griffin. I'm going with the Bens. Speaking of Ben, I'm going to go with the Bens. Ben Griffin is at 130 to 1. I like
Okay.
that number for him. He had a pretty good fall too.
We had a great fall.
Yeah. Griffin had the T3 in Bermuda, top T16 at the Houston Open, top 30 at the RSM. So I do like some Ben Griffin. A little longer, Ben Taylor. I mean, Ben Taylor almost won the Houston Open. He finished third. I think at 190 to 1, pretty good number for a young gun on tour. And then here's a guy that I kind of forgot about him, but he kind of had to go back to the Corn Ferry Tour, pay his dues there. He's 200 to 1. David Lingmerth.
Yeah.
David Lingmerth. I mean, this guy just out of after coming off the Corn Ferry, he had a great fall as well. I think he had 3 top 15 finishes this fall. And why I can't find he had 3 top 15 finishes. Yeah. So I like David Lingmerth also at 200 to 1. It feels like a good course for him as well. What's his history like here?
Yeah, it does seem like it would suit Lingmerth. I think I wrote him top 20 at the RSM. Definitely started noticing Lingmerth bucking his head a little bit. Got his, I guess, minor medical, or maybe he got some sort of exemption to play in some of these events. So little David Lingmerth, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, outright, probably none of these are probably all that smart in terms of like Higgs and Lingmerth and those guys. But top 20s, let's talk about a few top 20 bets we like. I actually had a pair of old veterans written down at 6-1 bombs on FanDuel, and David Lingmerth is one. Stuart Sink is the other. Talked about him on DraftKings show last night. Like, just loves Waialae, plays the piss out of Waialae, and plays pretty good. So 6-1, those are some bombs. Your boy Ben Taylor, who you mentioned just a minute ago, plus 550 on FanDuel. Kind of thinking through some other numbers of guys maybe we haven't talked about. I wouldn't really want to bet on outright, but I like the top 20 numbers. I maybe that's what I'll do with whoever I don't choose between this Grillo, English, and Putnam range, because like Grillo's plus 250 on FanDuel, kind of like that. Putnam's plus 190. I don't know if I love that one. I think I'd probably rather have the Grillo.
See, I have Putnam written down as a top 20. That was the only place I had him, was the top 20 at plus 190.
Yeah. I like Putnam, I was was really on the Putnam vibes in the fall, but for some reason, like right now, I'm starting to kind of worry about myself. Like it's Andrew Putnam. Are we okay? Do we need to? I don't know. I'm wondering if we should pump the brakes, but maybe not. Maybe he's there. I like your Taylor Montgomery call, but I'd rather have him top 20, plus 175 on DraftKings. And the Corey Connors, we talked about him at the top, not being, to me, a guy that necessarily I trust to close the door for the second time in a long time. He won years ago, it feels like. I mean, it was years ago. But plus 130 on FanDuel is his top 20 number. So that's probably about it for me.
Okay. Well, a couple I'll add in here. I didn't write down Knox as an outright, but I do have Knox plus 370 as a top 20. I think that's a pretty good number for him. And then I have two long ones.
That number's dropped.
What was it?
I had it written down as plus 450. Knox is catching steam. Okay, he's still plus 450 on DraftKings. Did you just miss that number?
Yeah, I'm looking right at it. I don't know how I missed that number.
Okay.
Yeah, I just missed it. Anyway, yeah, well then take it. Go. I think also I did mention I got Lingmerth here at plus 600. What are we doing with Kevin Streelman? He's plus 600 as a top 20. Why has he not played here more in the last few years? I feel like this is a great Streelman course.
Yeah, you would think this would be one for him. I don't know. I think I'm out.
Okay.
That's sus. The kids still say that? Do they still say sus? That's sus to me. Like why Kevin Streelman would not be here is weird.
It is. I don't get that. Anyway, that's all I got there. So
all right. Well, before we get to this last section, we're going to talk about some major championship futures. We're going to take a look at the majors. We got a voicemail to answer. I want to go through the chat. We've had a few people throw out some names in the chat. Maybe we can discuss. But before we knock all that out, and it's going to be a hot end to the show here, I want to remind everybody you could have a side hustle that many have turned into something that brings in more income than their regular or full-time job, and you can do it all from home whenever you want. One of our longtime friends in Augusta, Georgia, started Smart Scalpers and Elite Events nearly 20 years ago. He's begun training and franchising people all over the country to buy and sell tickets with software and this intelligent design system that he's created. It's all driven over the internet, so no face-to-face sales. You're not standing on the corner being a sleazeball. We're talking concerts, sporting events, festivals, and more. And you can do this all from home. Smart Scalpers will onboard you, train you weekly, and give you full-time access to their support staff whenever you need it, and there are no strings attached. You can sell as little or as much as you like. You can quit at any time, too. So if you're interested, text the number 706-755-5974 and tell them the Tour Junkies sent you. That's 706-755-5974. Tell them you want to learn more about Smart Scalpers and the Tour Junkies sent you. There's no pressure. And again, nothing wrong with learning a little more. Give it a shot and text 706-755-5974. It might be good for a lot of people. The economy's about to go in the absolute tank. So, have a little extra side hustle income that there's no pressure, there's no minimums. You can put as much time or little time as you want. I think you should do that. All right, let's run through the chat real quick before we take a voicemail. Matt here just says, Pat, greetings from Isle of Hope.
Greetings.
What is Isle of Hope?
It's right down the street. It's just an area of Savannah. Nice area.
Oh, okay.
Bluff Drive. If you're ever in Isle of Hope area, go down Bluff Drive. It's amazing.
Okay, beautiful. Hi, Matt.
Mhm.
Michael says Aaron Rye, top 20 maybe, huh? Pat, you're usually a sucker for old Aaron Rye. What do we think
Yeah,
about Aaron Rye this week?
he's got the iron covers
He does, yep.
and,
Well
and the
documented.
2 gloves, right? Does he wear 2 gloves too?
No, yes, I think he does. He wears rain gloves too,
Yeah,
right? He's
he
just
does.
weird all over.
I don't mind Rye, but I just never. He's starting to get into that category for me of I can never gonna get him right. Like I just whenever I want to play him, he's terrible, and then I fade him and he doesn't. So I don't know. Go with your gut, Michael. Okay, go with your gut.
So in 2022, it looks like he had 4 top 20s, with his most recent one being at the Houston Open in November, and then he had a 20th on the dot at the Shriners, which probably would have got chopped. I don't know. And of course, he's only seen once, missed the cut. I'm probably out on Aaron Rye. Steve Dubb, my boy Steve Dubb says Decky plus 100, top 20, hammer lock, mortgage play, whale bomb. I mean, yeah. I mean,
That doesn't look like hammerlock.
what does it say? Oh,
Well,
cock
there's a
hammer
extra
cocklock.
word in there.
Hammer cocklock mortgage whale play bomb. I love that.
I like that too.
That's fantastic. I love the branding there too, Steve. Great job. I could get down with that. Brad says Shez Reavy has had a few good finishes at this course. Yes, he has. Shesticle has done a couple things a couple times before, but
This is a Chez course.
it feels like it should be a Shez lock. He definitely, the putter has vacated the Reavy household, though. I will say that. I mean, the man has not had a positive putting week since the Travelers, and it's been real bad, like
Whew.
supremely bad. And even here at Wiley, look over the last 4 years, real bad. Now he's managed to still scrape out a couple good finishes there, but I don't know. I mean, he also does fit that bill of, playing Kapalua the week before. I can't think of a bet that I won on Shez.
Yeah,
No.
I don't know why, but he just any research I've done this week so far has not led me to
he's
some
not bothered.
Chez.
Halverson, DB and Pat, love you guys. Halverson, we love you, buddy. Miss you in the Nut Hut. Where you been? What you been doing? Diego, Brendan Todd, top 20. Another guy who seemingly this would be a decent course fit for Brendan Todd. You don't have to hit it very far. You just hit it in the fairway. You hit it on the green. You make a bunch of putts. Wham, bam, thank you, man. What do we think about the Todd father, who has played here 2, 4, 6, 8 times? He's only missed one cut. His best finish is a 13th back in 2012. His most recent best finish was in 2020 with a T21. I mean, I could get down with a possible, I don't know what the odds are, but a possible top 20, top 40 bet.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Not outright, though.
No, I don't think I'd go outright on him. Yeah, he didn't have the greatest fall. His ball striking has really struggled over the last few tournaments as well, which is typically his go-to. So maybe he's been working on that in the off season, and
Okay.
I think if you're going to do it, definitely would be in the top 20 range for sure, not outright.
Yeah. All right, let's do this. Let's wrap up with this voicemail. It's going to kind of spur on another conversation. We got a listener voicemail. We got a bunch of them. A couple of them come in. Listen, and keep sending them in. You don't have to wait on us to tell you to do it. The hotline is always open, 706-6-ADDICT. That's 706-623-3428. And let's take a listen to this one.
DB, Pat, this is Dylan Gerasi, loyal member of Team Pat. Got a question. I'd like to know y'all's top 3 longer than 40-1 futures bet to win Augusta, British Open, U.S. Open, and the PGA Major. Thanks, guys.
Dylan G, representing South Florida. Love some Dylan G. Good dude. Loyal member of the Nut Hut. Was at Golby's Cup. Played on Team Pat. Good stick, too.
Yeah.
Great question. I don't know that we'll be able to get to all the majors before we have to wrap this one up. But let's start with Augusta National. I'm just going to pull up one book. I'm just going to pull up DraftKings for now. Just just to keep it simple, so we're not doing a bunch of shopping. And he asked for 40 to 1 or longer. So
Yeah.
in that range, what are we thinking? And maybe we can even go a little shorter than that, just in the event that these numbers could be longer somewhere else. So
I've got a couple
okay,
here.
let me see. Let me hear it.
First off, all I'm seeing are the Masters and the PGA right now. I don't see the
Okay.
other majors out. So, but if I'm looking at 40 to 1 right off the bat, Cam Young at 40 to 1 is very interesting to me. We know he can hit it a long way. He showed at the Open Championship the guy can just when you have
Yeah.
fairways that you can bomb it over the bunkers and do whatever, like the things you got to do at Augusta National, he can do.
Yeah.
He can do.
Did he play? Yeah, he played last year, didn't he? Or did he play last year?
I don't know if he played last year, and that'll be the thing. If it is his first time, he's going to have
Yes,
to
he
learn
did.
these.
He
He did.
missed
Okay.
the cut. He missed
He
the
missed
cut.
the cut. Okay. Well, that's a good thing. I mean, it's not good that he missed the cut, but he does have one under his belt, which I'm sure he learned a lot that first year. So I like Cam Young at 40 to 1. I think a guy like, and you're not going to like this. You're not going to like this at all. But he's won there. I'd like to see how he plays in the fall. I mean, in the winter. But Adam Scott at 60 to 1.
Oh God, no.
I think is interesting. I'll let you go. I may have one other one here, a bomb for you. And the Masters, a bomb is really maybe up to 100 to 1, but then you're starting to really.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, really in all the majors, right?
Yeah.
Well, right off the bat, I'm gonna kind of get controversial here. I'm gonna pick a live guy that's
I
got
thought you might do that.
a ton of firepower. He's played here 3 times. He's improved slightly with every time. Missed the cut his first appearance, 40th his second appearance, and 35th last year. And he's at 50 to 1. It's Joaquin Niemann. I just love the kid. Combined distance, short game. I just think that kid is a superstar. I think he's one of the guys that is not talked about enough in terms of being missed on the PGA Tour. I miss him on the PGA Tour, and I think he's a stud, and I think he's a killer. So Joaquin Niemann for me would be the first one. The next one that jumps out at me, and I'm going to look it up right now because I'm pretty sure he has a terrible record at the Masters, but I have a hard time believing that that's going to continue, and that is Max Homa at 65 to 1. It just feels like Max is just, I mean, it can't be talked about enough how great he's played in the last year and a half. Yeah, 2 missed cuts and a 48th last year was his best finish. But I mean, if we're talking value, it's not going to be perfect in this range. 65 to 1 for Max Homa to me feels like a really attractive number for a guy like him who has competed in big fields, big tournaments, and has won now, 5 times on the PGA Tour. That's really good. After
How is
that,
Ricky Fowler listed in? He didn't make it in the field, did he?
I don't know, but I was just about to say, like, isn't Ricky I'm kind of lathered up about Ricky right now. Like, I'm a little excited. I'm excited about his game. I'm excited to see him go back to Butch Harmon. I mean, we love John Tillery, good friend of ours, love JT, but players and coaches aren't always a perfect fit. Like, it's nothing about John Tillery. It's just they're not always a great fit. And obviously Ricky and Butch clicked. There was something with Ricky and Butch that worked.
Yeah.
And you talk about a veteran at Augusta, a guy that can roll the rock. I mean, I don't know if he's in or not, but if he is, I would be interested in that number.
Can I interest you in some 100 to 1 Bobby Mack, Robert McIntyre?
I get suckered into him every Masters. So
he's played well before. He's a lefty. We know lefties can play that course because of just the way you have to work the ball. Mostly, mostly with that kind of, right to left type shot. So Bobby Mack at 100 to 1.
Okay. All right, let's go to the PGA. Let's work through the PGA real quick, and then we'll be done. The PGA is that's at Oak Hill, right? So LACC is the U.S. Open, and the PGA is at Oak Hill in New York.
Yeah.
Am I correct there?
Yes, you are correct.
And that's the one where Jason Duffner won a long time ago, right? I think
that is correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. Longer than 40 to 1 PGA Championship. I mean, first of all, I see Tom Kim at 35 to 1.
Yeah, and he was there for the Masters also,
Yeah, I mean,
and so I couldn't name him, but I wanted to.
I would probably like him more at Oak Hill if it's a course that doesn't demand some of the length that I think Augusta does. And maybe we could find him longer than 40 to 1, but I'm definitely interested in that number for sure. And then guys we just mentioned. I mean, Joaquin Neiman, Cam Young's right there at 40. Max Homa's at 50. Love the Max Homa. I mean, I just think Homa, I like that number a lot. So Max would be if you can get Tom Kim at 40 to 1 or longer, and then Homa, those are first two clicks for me. You might could get more of a chance of a long shot winner at a PGA. I don't see Mito. Mito's there at 80. We'll see what happens with old Mito. Keegan's at 80. I like that. Seamus Power, 100 to 1. Russell Henley, 100 to 1.
Yeah,
Ricky
I don't
Fowler.
mind that.
I definitely like the long shots more at a PGA. Aaron Wise, 100 to 1. Oh, that is blasphemous. I'll take that. Give me that.
You just got like googly eyes with hearts.
Yeah, Siwoo's 130. All right, those are all mine. I just named a bunch of guys.
I feel like you just kind of skipped over Sam Burns at 40 to 1.
I kind of did because I don't know. I like betting Sam Burns. I do bet Sam Burns, but I don't.
I like Burns. I actually like Neiman also.
I think I like Homa better than Burns.
Okay, well, I like Neiman also at 40 to 1 here. Who was I looking at before that was a little bit longer that I thought would be pretty good, but now I've lost it.
Well, good show. Good stuff. It's the Sony. We'll be back next week. We're ready. We're excited. The year is getting kicked off. It's getting rolling. We're making cash in the Nut Hut. It's popping off. Join us. Drop a comment. Who's your NFL, your Super Bowl dark horse? Give it to us. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave us a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you listen. Thanks so much. We appreciate it. And let's bend over our bookies this week. All right.